Okay, morning traders. Happy Thursday. I hope you guys are all doing well and all good your side. We got a few things to cover today. Yesterday was obviously FOMC. I can walk through my trade that I took on FOMC, and obviously we speak about levels and so forth going forward. But say what's up in the chat. Let's see if we can get anything moving today. So yesterday my trade was on the Nasdaq. And we had some big moves, obviously, after FOMC, and that was obviously predicted with, I was saying just keep it small and tidy before FOMC gets released. So my trade yesterday was just a quick scalp to the downside, like this, on the Nasdaq, on the 5-minute chart, as we broke through the New York session VWAP, well as coming off of that opening range high. So my trade was over here, about an hour into the open. We hadn't really done much, and we held levels. We flushed down at the open, and now I was looking to trade back towards the previous day's lows. So that was my trade yesterday. Just a quick little scalp on the NQ. Just looking for that quick move down, and I literally was out like in 2 minutes. It was a pretty short trade, and we end up moving back higher. Okay, we actually closed on the highs, and now we are melting away overnight, but we have recovered a little bit of that. We're actually sitting at the same price on the Nasdaq, 25,700, call it, where we were trading pre FOMC. So, not too much to speak about right now. Yes, has also kind of been recovering after dropping down. We were at 830. We're back up to 870 on the ES chart. Sabali, Senior, Hoa, Ben, how's your guys' week been so far? How was your yesterday? I know, Hoa, you've been a little bit break-even trades and small losses. It was actually trading higher overnight. We up 0.04% on that. Mag 7 stocks are all red except Apple. The big one is Nvidia is down 1.3%. So let's keep our eyes fixed on that. We have recovered a little bit. We are trading back at 180. We are back above 181 right now. But yeah, I hope that you guys are having a good week so far. I did mention yesterday the average daily range has dropped off on a lot of these indexes, but we have started to see a little bit of volatility, obviously, post FOMC. I mean, on the ES chart from the close down towards that lows, we dropped 70 points. So we are seeing some nice overnight moves now, which is getting me a little bit better to look for, to take trades across more of my accounts. I have locked up, as mentioned, some prop firm payouts. So I'll be sticking to my personal and a few other prop firm accounts that I want to get over the line for some payouts. But I think, again, as mentioned, in these market conditions in December, it is already the 11th of December. You don't want to be pushing where it is unnecessary to be doing so, right? Any thoughts, any questions in the chat? We'll go over some reports. An interesting report to actually go over as we head into the open here was that FOMC. So if we go to, let's go here, choose report. The FOMC performance. Yeah, JB, notice the volatility in the DAX has dropped particularly. So let's go like this. Post FOMC, so pre FOMC, post FOMC, and then the FOMC day. There was a report here. Let's go to economic data volume. Nice move this morning off a level, but as clean as you would normally see. Yep. So something interesting. Let's go to FOMC over here. We can see that the biggest moves actually happen the day after FOMC. Typically, we can see the day of FOMC is that blue one, and then the day afterwards, the volume does pick up. So I think there should be some nice opportunities for us as day traders here, heading into the open. Some nice overnight moves, which gets me a little bit more excited compared to the low volume stuff that we have been seeing more recently. So if you need anything in the chat, I do see a couple of questions coming through. The easiest way to get support is bottom right-hand side here. Hit over there and you will be able to ask get your support tickets answered, right? Something interesting that I was seeing just on Tesla, we had that massive day on Tuesday, excuse me, where we broke the opening range high, okay, all day. Yesterday we had a late pop, and now we are trading back at those FOMC levels as well. So it'll be interesting to see what we do get today, if we are going to get any follow through on some of those levels. But for now, right, at the moment, we have been buying dips. If you go to a larger time frame, let's go like this. If you just look at the hourly chart, right, we can still kind of classify this as being at a heavy support zone. 830 has been holding quite heavy. We can see we've held the support zone for quite some time now. Last we dropped down and we buy. Okay, and that's where I just like to use that opening candle continuation report and the highs and lows to look for plays off of. We are sitting back at that level, so it's going to be interesting to see what we do get. The levels right now that I got on ES, okay, is clearly up here at these highs, 890, 900. And then if we can just still hold these levels here above 850, I would still be liking the longs into that 890 level. If we flush down below here, I could see us slipping and sliding away further, dropping further off. So those are the levels I got on ES. NQ pretty much the same. We have seen a bigger drop off overnight on NQ, actually taking out that support level at 25, 600. We have recovered a little bit, and then as long as we can hold that, I think I'd like to look for longs back up into 25, 900. But we'll see what we do get. I am wary of this big overnight move that we could see further downside. Stocks aren't looking great overnight, even on the broader list as well. Robinhood, AMD, not looking too solid there as well. So I think for me, I'm just going to be picking my spots wisely, heading into today's, just like I did yesterday, and then seeing if we can get any continuation plays. Right now, on lower volume, the continuation plays just haven't been working. So we've taken our previous day's lows on all three of the major indexes, ES and NQ. YM was looking really, really good yesterday. I probably missed some nice continuation plays. We break the opening range high, we pull back, we get longs, we pull back in as well. This has been holding up quite nicely. I think YM's not too far off all-time highs either. So YM definitely the stronger index yesterday. I just found a nice little scalp on NQ, and that's why I took it. But yeah, nice continuation play. Look how guys always ask me how I'm using the VWAP and opening range. I think this is a great example yesterday. We break the opening range high, we pull back into VWAP, and we can look for longs off of it. And again, pre-FOMC, we pull back and get longs off of it as well. We are trading above all the key VWAPs, previous day's VWAP, weekly VWAP, and the daily VWAP right now. So it is going to be interesting to, I could easily see, I remember it was last FOMC where we did kind of like the same, where we traded higher and then we slid off overnight and we actually ended up coming back down into the session. So we got to be wary of that as well. But we have taken our previous day's lows on NQ. And if you look at the previous day's range report, okay, let's go to NQ. We can see in the last 6 months, 62% of the time, if we take out those previous day's lows, let's actually go to the daily time frame that I prefer using extended market hours. 67% of the time, if we take out those lows, we will get follow through and close as a red day. Any thoughts, any questions in the chat right now? We can go over, have a look at the DAX. I haven't been trading the London session too much recently, Lee. I've just been locking in on the New York session, family time and everything like that right now. But yeah, some nice moves above the opening range high, looks like this morning. So let's put the London session opening range. Yep. Break of the opening range high, and you can look for some continuation here. But still, very small moves, actually. Only 56 points. Hasn't really been getting much volume either. I think as we wind down the year, for me at least, I'm not looking. I've already locked in some nice gains this month. I had a great month last month, and I'm just looking to end the year, strong start, and then set myself up for a good 2026. So let's go like this month. So and then last month was really nice with that 23K with a couple of payouts, and obviously also my personal account on there as well. So just looking to continue, caution, not trying to throw the kitchen sink at my trades at the moment. But yeah, I've got my level set on NQ. I have seen post FOMC us to slide away. So that is something that I am wary of for sure. So I would be cautious of just looking for longs that we are starting to recover here. If we take out previous days or the current day's VWAP, I definitely think we could slide. Let's have a look at a couple of the other markets. The Nikkei dropping down overnight. There were some nice plays on that. I think for the traders that do trade, Asian session or London session, I think this is a nice index to trade, personally. I mean, it does move. We can see over here that we do slide off the open there, over 700 points. Big move of this for sure. The VIX is trading as well. We always know when VIX is up, volatility increases. I don't do well with the VIX below 15 personally. It has been getting closer to those levels. I just like to monitor it where it is at. But look how we have dropped off on volatility in recent times. So since the 21st of November, where the VIX was trading above 23, we're now trading lower, down 21% in the teens again. I do trade better when we are sitting at about 19 plus personally. That's just my own personal opinion on that. We can see when we do trade above that, it is some nice times in the market. We get follow through, breakout trades are rewarded. And right now we are trading in the teens again, so underneath 19. So that is something to take into account. So yeah, all Mag 7 stocks red except Apple. Any questions, any thoughts in the chat right now? We'll keep it another 10 minutes or so. We'll see if there's any news on CNBC to have a look at. See 5 things to know this morning. We normally do that sometimes these in videos, but Fed announced a 25 basis point rate cut, marking its third decrease in 2025. Policy, just one rate cut in the year ahead. Oracle was down. I did see that was down 13% overnight, and they got that up there as well. Oracle missed analysis expectations for revenue in its high-profile earnings report yesterday. Shares of the software company dropped 11% in extended trading, dragging down other artificial intelligence plays such as NVIDIA and CoreWeave. Rivian's road ahead. Rivian is taking a turn towards artificial intelligence. That's interesting. I do like Rivian. We are sitting now on the daily time frame personally. Yeah, that is. So Oracle missing earnings definitely will bring NVIDIA and other AR stocks down too. All right, so tech stocks. Again, like I think just trading what's in front of us, not trying to predict rather reacting than predicting. I think is always what I've done best at. And I think it's what we've got to do going forward into the coming weeks. I have noticed or have pointed out that but we have seen a big drop off in volume and volatility. Well, right, we can have a look at NVIDIA. We'll bring it up now. Look at this. So let's go to NVIDIA. Big drop off in volume. And I know there is bank holidays and everything like that in December. So this could be definitely skewed, but you got to take this into account that December time for the stock market, everyone tends to, try and just consolidate to end of the year. We're not trying to make our year in December at least. Don't know how your guys' year has been, but it's been pretty solid my side, especially the back half of the year. And I think I just want to go into 2026 on the right note. So I've got levels plotted out on ES here for you guys. As mentioned, we have taken our previous day's lows overnight. So I definitely think if we don't, flush higher and start to move towards there, I think we could see, a potential player, something like this where we could have stops at 80 and we can be targeting back towards the lows. Nice risk reward play there as well. But let's see what we do get into open. I very rarely could. Any of you guys trade pre-market? Hoa, do you trade pre-market often on any of the stocks? I know you trade quite a few names. Lee, I know you trade in the London session on the DAX, but anyone else here trade pre-market or find any stuff that they like to do pre-market? Unless I'm in a swing position, will I look to take something pre-market? Yeah, no pre-market. Yeah, that makes sense. I've never found, unless I'm in a nice swing position with my stops locked from like the previous day, I find, pre-market trading can be, just hit and miss. Got a few things I can speak on as well in terms of psychology, the psychology aspect of trading as well. This is a nice article that I was reading last night. I like this Trader Feed blog post. It's by Brett Steenbarger, who is the performance coach for S&B Capital. They are a in-house prop firm in New York. But he speaks about what if you could only trade once per day. And this is something that I'm always looking to improve my trading. There's always something you got to be working on. More so psychologically for me. I've been doing this 8 years. I think technicals, I've kind of got how I want to trade. Over the 8 years, I keep it as simple as possible using the edgeful data and my opening range and VWAP. But I think look what he says here about the psychological aspect of it. If you could only trade once per day, if you traded once per day, what do you think your win percentage would be? How do you think your profitability trading once per day would compare to what I've been speaking on in these live streams about less is more? You don't need to be trading every single day. I know it's probably heard this 1,000 times. But I think when you come to the desk with a plan, in these pre-markets, I'll give you my plan, what I'm looking for. When you come to the desk with a plan, we set ourselves up for success. I've been working for the last 8 months with a performance coach as well. And this is something I've been working on, religiously, is my plan coming into the desk every single day. Hence why I'm only trading the New York session in more recent times. This is something I've picked up, is that when I try and trade London and New York, I'm a bit all over the place because I'm trying to trade all hours of the day. But when we come into the New York session and I have a plan, right now it's 3:30 South African time. The New York opens only 4:30. So I have time to build my plan an hour before, which I do on these pre-market streams with you guys, and set myself up for success. When you do take a loss in the first trade, you're not thrown off. It's easier to cut losers and be the trader that you want to be in the moment. It's easy to see things in hindsight, right? Oh man, I should have been selling, but I was buying. But when you have a plan and levels that you're wanting to trade off of, it's easier to follow that plan and react more as a winning trader in the moment, if that makes sense. I think guys that come in don't journal. Personally, for me, I've also had a trader reach out to me saying that he's struggling and he feels that he's not making any progress. And I asked him, well, have you send me the trades from the last week? And he couldn't do so. He hasn't been journaling. Well, I was like, "What trade did you take last week Friday?" Well, if you don't journal, you're not going to remember that mistake that you made or that good thing that you did. So that's why I think personally journaling, and yes, it can be cliche, but journaling helps so much in terms of being able to spot where and improve on that. If you're not tracking, to improve, so I'll send you let me find this for you. Let me find this here for you. I think Tom Dante, who I like following on Twitter, said it best, and Lee's from your neck of the woods in the UK. Let me find it here. Let me find it here. Give me a second. Okay, got it. Let's bring it up here on screen. Right. So if I bring this up, he made a tweet, and this was quite some time ago, but I still think it's obviously very relevant. The only thing you'll find more boring than recording every trade in a journal is the boredom of being in the same place after years of trading just because you don't track to improve. Okay, so some Thursday thoughts. I'll put that in the chat here as well for you guys. And we'll speak on this as well in a minute. Put that in the chat there. So this trader that came to me and said that they need to, they feel like they're stuck, and they see other traders that have been trading for a lot less than them, less time, doing better than them, and taking payouts with personal accounts, prop firms, whatever it is. I personally think you should be trading both. But it's because they're not tracking. How can you track if you don't know what the score is? How can you improve if you don't know what the score is? When everyone, when you play a basketball game and that, they don't play with no score. They play with a score because they want to know where they are. It's the same as trading. How can you get better if you're not tracking your trades? If I ask you, James, if I ask myself, James, what trade did I take last week Friday? I probably won't be able to tell you unless I have a journal, right? And maybe I had a great Friday and I want to improve on that and get better at what I'm doing well at. Maybe I had a shit Friday and then you'd be like, damn, maybe that was just poor trading, and what mistakes did I make? Maybe, oversizing, over trading. What is it? And if you're not tracking that, well, of course you're going to be in the same place because you're not tracking to improve. And it's a harsh reality actually as traders, is that trading is a race with no finish line. You do well, but you got to keep doing well. You have a great month. Well, you got to stay on your horse and keep at it. And that is the tough thing about trading in general, is that there's no finish line, and you can have a great month, but if you undisciplined the next month, you can give it all back. And that's why you got to be on it mentally every single day. And that can be tiring. And that's why I do think taking breaks, using this, December, once the 20th hits, I'm not going to be trading any accounts. I'm just going to be relaxing with the family. But when we're on the desk, we got to be on it. Otherwise, you're just not going to get better. So I do encourage you guys that are not journaling right now to really be looking at this from a perspective of, I need to find out what I'm doing well, what I'm doing poorly, and how can I improve. It's just the reality of it, right? Any thoughts on that? Perfect. So we'll go for another 2 or 3 minutes here. I hope that you guys have a good trading session. I've gone on a little bit of a rant here. I've given you some levels on ES. As long as we hold 850, 860, call it, I'll be looking for longs. But if we flush down at the open and start making our way down, I will definitely be looking for some follow through on the shorts, back down to 820. So back down to this level here, which was opening range low yesterday, and it is previous day's lows. That's what I'm looking for on ES at the moment. And I think I definitely have seen FOMC days where we roll over even after the move up. So any thoughts on that, Hoa? Any thoughts? Do you guys like a little bit of, levels and then a little bit of psychology talk as well on these pre-markets? I think it definitely gets me in the right mind frame for the session. Locked in some prop firm accounts. I'm still trading my personal, although be it with smaller size. And I'm just going to be plugging away to end the year strong. So a good example for that about tracking was I used to add into my trades. And I found that when I used to add into my trades, sometimes I used to add like 2 or 3 times, and it caused me to take bigger losses than I would. I've gone back now to just one entry, and it's helped me a lot in terms of my risk management. When you layer into trades, I know the CFDs give you multiple positions, so it's easier to track. But when you layer in, I know the futures just gives you an average price. But that CFD stuff can sometimes get you in trouble where you have multiple trades and you have to manage multiple entries and exits. So I've just have one entry, one keep it simple. That layering into trades used to catch me out quite a few times. And that's something I had to improve on, right? Yeah, take it easy, Lee. Have a good one, bro. Sloth Father, good to have you on again, boss. How you going? I actually picked up a top one futures account yesterday that I started to trade, and that's just the trade that I took on it yesterday. Let's bring that up. Where's that Trader8? They do have Trader8 now, which is pretty nice. Nope, let's go like this. There it is there. So I've got it, one of those instant accounts, and we'll be looking to make some inroads towards the end of the year to take a pair on one of these. This is it, yeah. So they do have Trader8, which is pretty nice. Top one futures, I'm up $900 yesterday. So we see how I can go along with that today, right? I know you mentioned you got a few accounts as well that you're running your side, but yeah, I think it's been a good pre-market stream. We'll call it here, and I'll be on my trading room, live in my trading room today. Okay, which you can hit the link in my bio if you're watching this online in the Discord too. Please be careful of scammers. I won't message you first. This is my only account. So just make sure to you hit the link in my bio. We are giving away a free month using the code FIRST right now, and then I'll be live with Andre tomorrow to end the week with edgeful. But have a good rest of the day, guys. What's up, Mike? Good to see you on, bro. Hope you're having a good week. How's your week been, Mike? Any trades your side? And then yeah, we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys on the rest of the day. I'll be in the Discord as always, sharing my thoughts, chat amongst each other. It's good stuff, Mark. And we'll see you guys on then. So have a good one. Take it easy. And I'm always in touch here if you guys need anything. Cheers, guys.